Shalom, family, peace and blessings. Yours truly, Jimmy Williams, again, back with another great and informative video. Hey, listen, congrats. I'm speaking to my people now, black people. Congrats on Black History Month for us. We are celebrating the greatness, the great things that our people have accomplished and what we've done around the world, here in America and all over. So I'm honored that we've decided to have a blackout day on Friday, February the 28th, and we're not shopping nowhere. And I commend you for that. Now, dramatic pause. So all my white people that you're a follower of mine, you're one of my spiritual daughters, or you are in business with me, you work for me, because I have white folks that are in my business, good friends of mine. I mentor, and I have white mentors. To all of you who are watching this, don't be offended at this. Please compartmentalize and understand that I am just edifying my people. This is not personal. I still love you. You're still a brother or my sister. But just stay in your lane on this one, because I'm talking to my people. I'm edifying my black people. All right, that's all I'm doing. And if you are of the other groups and you understand that, you'll know that, hey, listen, if you edify your folks and lift them up, I'm all for it. I would never be disrespectful to you. And I'm asking that you don't jump on this post and be disrespectful to me and my people. This is our day to celebrate and talk about the things that we've done as a people. That's what I'm talking about first. So again, do not get involved in this fight, guys. All right? You can jump in and celebrate with us. We love you. We want you to be a part of it, because Black history is history. Just like we celebrate your history. It's still American history or world history, right? Having said that, I'm going to talk for about 7 to 8 minutes on one topic, and then I'm going to come back with part 2 and then part 3. The first topic is going to be black people in America, our contributions and who we are as a people. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to come back and do part 2. Black history globally. That's part 2. Part 3 is going to be Bible prophecy and how black people and all the other nations around the world fit into the prophecies that are going to unfold that are happening right now. What's going on with Donald Trump? What's going on with the other nations? What's going on in South Africa? What's going on in Australia? And what's going on in places and regions that nobody's talking about. I'm going to cover some things, and I'm going to uncover the lies that white supremacy has lied about toward us and about us. Somebody's got to uncover it. Guys, listen, we were all asleep at one point, and we're starting to wake up. And that's why you hear all these folks, whether they're on the left or the right, or no matter where they're from, they'll be saying, y'all woke now. We got to put you back to sleep. We got to beat you back to sleep. That woke stuff. White folks and other groups, let me tell you, you're telling yourselves, why do you want me to stay asleep? Why do you want me to kill this whole awakening? You're telling me that we were once asleep and you were profiting from the lie. You can't do that no more. So I'm here to expose it. Don't take this personal. Just learn something. And guys, when I talk and I speak as an apostle of the Most High, I'm going to come with you with straight facts. I'm not going to tell you some lies. All right? And I urge my black folks, my black people, so-called black people, to read. Read more. We do read a lot already. That lies that we don't read, but we need to read more about who we were, because we're the only group of people that forgot who, I'm talking about in America now, who forgot who they were. And that was by design. I'm going to show you where in the scriptures. Okay? So the first thing I want to say to you is, why are we so misinformed? Malcolm X said it best. He said, only a fool will let his enemy teach him or teach his children. Don't let a fool, don't be a fool, and don't let people that don't understand your struggle or don't know who you are, or if they do know who you are, don't respect you, teach your children. That's exactly what happened to us when we came over on the transatlantic slave trade. Those of us who came over, our history was stolen. Do you know us in America, we're the only group of people, black people, in the world that cannot trace back what we spoke, the languages we spoke back in the motherland. And there's a reason for that. It's because we're the Israelites. And there's a scripture that said that we would forget who we were, but we would wake up in the land of our oppressors. It will come back to us. Okay? I can't cover all the scriptures, but people who are awake already know this. But there's one scripture in particular about a future event I'm going to read to you. Not verbatim, but I want you to go look it up. It's Genesis chapter 15, verses 12 through 15. I'm not going to read it verbatim. I'm just going to ad-lib it, okay? Abraham fell into a deep sleep. The Father put him in a deep sleep. The Most High spoke to him in the dream. He said, listen, your people are going to be oppressed for 400 years as slaves, and they're going to be treated bad. But after it's over, I'm going to take them out of the land. And I'm going to, listen, I'm going to take them out of the land. They're going to leave the land. It's right there. You're going to come out with great possessions when I'm done with you, and you're going to leave, and I'm going to judge the nation that's there, the nation that treated you so bad. I am going to bring judgment on them. Look around, guys. We've been here since 2019 represents the 400th year that we've been in captivity, 1619 to 2019. Do the math. The people that's in Israel now and all that, those are not the people. Those are the people from Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3 verse 9. They say they are us and are not. I don't use that word Jew. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Jew is a social construct. Okay, so that they can keep that word. But before it was changed, it's the real Yahudim, the real tribe of Judah, Yahudim. The other 11 tribes that are in Africa in a certain part, they already know who they are. They're waiting on us to come back. That's why do you think all these other nations, including Ghana, gave the right of return in 2019? They know something about us. You better get this, okay? You're the chosen people. Genesis chapter 15, verses 12 through 15. Read that. Put it up on your wall. Look at it. Because we're at the end of that now. If you look at the nation, it's starting to fall right now before our very eyes. And when it falls completely, we are out of here. Now, to all the other nations that want to cleave to us, we are Judah. We're one of the 12 tribes of Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Esau. Not Esau. His name was changed to Israel. I'm going to get to Esau in a moment. Esau was Jacob's brother, but Esau was not chosen. But we are the 12 tribes, and when we leave, this is going to happen. All the other nations are going to want to follow. But only a remnant is going to be able to leave. The people that treat us bad, you're going to have to face that judgment. So if you're on the wrong side of history right now, I'm going to talk about politics for a second, all the rhetoric we're seeing. If you're on the wrong side of that, no matter what color you look like, there's a judgment coming for you. No matter what you do, it's coming. All right? Let me just talk about this whole thing about us being black. Okay? And I'm going to wrap up, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that we created in this nation, the inventions that were hidden, and all the lies. This word black is a white social construct. It's a white supremacist social construct word to divide. The man that invented that word, his name was Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. Look up that word, Johann Blumenbach. Born 1752, died 1840. He divided the human species. Listen to this. In 1779, here's what he said. He later discovered on the crania research, listen to this, that's a description of the human skulls. He discovered certain types of skulls, like I guess he was saying the superior skull, he called that skull the Caucasian white race. Okay, that was him. And if you go back in history in that time frame, these white men got together. Remember, because if you're going to enslave a group of people and oppress them and take their resources, you got to make them subhuman. Did you hear what I said? That's why in the Constitution a long time ago, we can enslave 3/5 of a human being because he's not a human. Not knowing they're enslaving the real chosen people of Yah. When white people, listen, I want y'all to hear this. When y'all fully wake up and discover that you've been enslaving and persecuting and treating the black people who are the chosen people in the book, some of y'all are gonna lose your mind. That's why you're covering the lie. That's why you won't let it go. You keep holding on to this lie, and the lie gets bigger and bigger. But Dr. King said it best: no lie can live forever. It may have legs. The Bible did talk about Edom, and that's the group I'm going to talk about now. Now all white folks are not Edom. Dramatic pause. But there's a certain group, the European group, the European nations, that would be Edom, the Romans and the French, and a lot of them in America, because your descendants came from those nations. A lot of you are Edomites. But Edom is the one that's in control of things now, creating these lies, right? The Bible said that the Edomites would create lies and believe their own lies, and their fathers created lies, and your children are waking up. Now listen, some of you guys who are my friends, some of you who are waking up, you know that all these lies have been told. Your ancestors were lying about black folks, and you like, man, this is crazy. Well, you have a decision to make. You can choose the right side. Stick with our people and love us. That's all you got to do. You're going to be no superhero. Just tell the truth and shame the devil, right? This is a big lie. But this man divided the people. Now, we know for a fact, I'm going to talk about it in part 2, that all civilization came from Africa. This is scientifically proven. DNA, archaeology, etc. End of the discussion. It's not even a discussion. In fact, one professor talked about this to his white students. This happened a while back. Go Google this. Google white professor has white students walk out when he talks about the history of Africa and where all mankind and civilization came from. This is a fact. But this white man came on the scene, divided the races of people. Now they have justification. The black race was supposed to be the bottom of the barrel. Well, if you look at me, this is my black wallet. Do I look like I'm this color? No. Are there certain people in the earth realm that may have that shade? Yes, there are a few. But black is a social construct to dehumanize a group of people. But it's a lie. We'll wait now. We know better. There are thousands, not hundreds, of different shades of brown, yellows, and darker browns, etc., mahoganies. But that word black never came from the Father in heaven. And if you go back past the 1500s, that word wasn't even in existence. So you understand, what you got to understand is, when they created the word, they did that to separate and take control. And now I got these subhuman black people and sub-Sahara and all. I can do what I want to do. I can take over. Now, white folks, I hate to tell you, you're not necessarily white. You just have less melanin. So the proper word for all of us would be, this is the history month for melanated people, not black people. Black people put you in a little box. I'm clearly mahogany. I'm clearly brown skin, if you want. Some people say I'm yellow, right? Malcolm X was high yellow, right? Dr. King was a little more darker brown. You call him black. Black people were much more than being black. We are proud people. And everything I'm telling you is fact. It's not fiction. Go look up that name. You'll find that out, all right? Lastly, there's a couple other things I want to touch here, and I got to go to the next video, but listen to me. We have a lot to hang our hat on, people of color, all right? Melanated folks, okay? I'm going to talk about a couple of inventions, and then I'm going to wrap this up by saying, if you're out there and you're watching this, and you were lied to, I'm talking to the other groups now, about black people not being this and not being that, not contributing to society, and hanging from trees, etc., etc., you may want to rethink that when you hear some of these inventions, all right? Number one, the cell phone. There was a man by the name of Jesse Russell. He didn't create the original cell phone. I won't say that. But he was a great entrepreneur here's what he did. He's credited with being a key figure in the invention of the modern cell phone. Okay? He was an African-American inventor or Hebrew-American inventor, a chosen one of the Most High. Let's tell it like it is. And he was an IT entrepreneur. He worked at Bell Laboratories. So that cell phone you're walking around with, everybody wants to say Steve Jobs did this and he did that. He was a great man. I like Steve Jobs. But you need to talk about this man he was one of the main guys out there that made the cell phone cool and awesome and more modern and looks the technology. You remember those ones from 1990, those big old ugly ones? This man helped to get it where it is today. All right? Number two, the internet. Now, I know you probably heard this lie, and it's a lie. I'm reading some facts here. The lie about there's another guy who created the World Wide Web. All right. His name was Sir Timothy John Berners-Lee, also known as Tim BL. Go look this up. He was an English computer science and the inventor of the World Wide Web. Now, I'm not going to disrespect the man because, again, I respect all creators. But here's what I had the problem. Now, this is a white guy. They said created the World Wide Web. But the black man who was a Nigerian, I'm going to talk about him now. His name was Dr. Philip Emenwali, okay? Born August 23rd, 1954. He was, listen to this, guys. He was an English computer science. He was a genius. Listen to this. Here's what Wikipedia says about the guy. He was accused of the controversial statements about the achievements such as creating the world's fastest computer, the connection machine, he says. And they're disputed to this very day by society and the community. So here's the thing. What am I saying with this? When a white man says he invented something, it's the law. I'm talking to all of y'all now, my white brothers. I want y'all to hear this. And if you're not a part of this social construct and you're trying to change it, then kudos to you. But the majority do this. They accept what he said. But the minute I'm talking about Sir Timothy John Berners-Lee, he was the one that created the World Wide Web. No controversy there. But the minute the black man said that he was the one that made the connection faster, and he had other inventions, they disputed him in court. They disrespected him. They devalued him, right? Discredited him. That sounds about right. When you're dealing with a racist social construct, it's a construction. It's hard to penetrate it unless the Most High Yah, the Father in heaven, breaks it down. So what am I saying? For 400 years, there's been a lot of lies told about black people. And it's finally coming down. But that was terrible what they did to that man. That was wrong. Okay? So we have the cell phones. We have the internet. Black people had their hands all in it. Let's talk about the GPS system. This whole thing that we use on Uber and, all these other platforms where we have a guidance on our phone to get us to our destination, Google Maps, etc., etc. A black woman named Gladys West, okay, Doctor, I said her name wrong. I don't want to disrespect her. Gladys West, all right. Listen to this, guys. She's one of STEMS. STEMS is a company. Hidden trailblazer. She was hidden. She helped develop technology She developed technology that contributed to the creation of the global positioning system, which is the GPS, which revolutionizes society. They're saying here that they purposely hid her. We know why. But let's go. Let's see a little bit more what she did here. She was a part of the CSAT team that created a mathematical model for the Earth. She reconfigured an IBM computer to calculate the Earth's shape and movement. Black woman. She collected data from satellites to determine their exact locations. Here's the background. She grew up in a community of sharecroppers. Sharecroppers. The people that when slavery was over, they didn't have nowhere to go. So white folks took over the land and made them work the land and pay them pennies. That's where she came from. She earned a degree in mathematics at Virginia State College, now Virginia State University. She worked at the Naval Surface Warfare Center, Dawn Green Division, okay? She's been recognized by Virginia State, including she was inducted into the Air Force Space and Mission Pioneers Hall of Fame. All right, I messed that all up, right? Let me read it again. West has been recognized by the Virginia State and inducted into the Air Force Space and Missile Pioneers Hall of Fame. Got it right. Look at the marbles out there. Her story has been described as hidden because it has gone largely untold until 2018. But they don't say why it was hidden. They keep running around it. It's because she's black. That's why they hid it. She's black. She had plenty of inventions. Plenty of inventions, okay? Let me just talk about this one last thing. This is going to really move you guys. And you'll understand how the wickedness of white supremacy and the danger it has played on the American people. Racism is expensive, man. Racism right now is causing this nation trillions of dollars. This whole DEI lie, okay? And when they say that black people, you want to fool a black person, put it in the book. I beg your pardon. I beg to differ to that. When Donald Trump and his minions came out and said that, who got that far along to come up against him in the presidency, a black woman, whatever y'all want to call her, some people don't call her black, it's because of DEI. How disrespectful, how blasphemous, how wicked for you to say that about a person that had to work twice as hard as you. But I digress from that. But racism is expensive, guys. Because of racism, back in the 60s, white folks were upset that everybody was going to get a chance to get health care. So they went against it. So nobody can get it without having to pay so much. They were so racist, even not too far from now, when Obama created Obamacare. It has another name now. They were against it because he did it, even though he was trying to do it for them. How dumb can you be? When you hate groups of people so much, you rather vote and act wicked against your own people. That is a wicked person. That is a wicked group of people. Am I saying all of you are like that? No. But there's something wrong psychologically with you to do that. Racism stinks and it hurts. And it's hurting everyone, not just black people. DEI, to be honest with you, it benefited white women more than anybody else. Go look up the list before you jump on here with a lie. We were down there 6 and 7 and 8 somewhere. That's where black men and women were at. White men were above us. White CEOs benefited from DEI. But it sounds good. It was a really good tactic to tell during a campaign that these black people over here are taking the jobs. Meanwhile, Obama and all these other black people had to work 3 times as hard to get where they were. Do I agree with everything in politics on either side? No, I don't. Don't get on my don't get on here saying you're on the left or you're on the. I'm not on either side, guys. I'm woke. I'm an apostle of the Most High. I don't choose sides. I'm on the Most High side. If you look at an eagle, it has 2 wings. America is an eagle. The left side is Republicans. The right side is Democrats. But the infrastructure was created on white supremacy. So that eagle has a white supremacist face to me. I don't trust either side. I don't trust the liberals. I don't trust the conservatives and anyone in between. If you're on Yah's side, Yah's people, if you love us, we can talk. All right? So don't think that I'm picking sides. I'm not doing that. All right? But Kamala Harris did all this hard work to get where she was. Nobody gave her nothing. You jumped out there and said DEI. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And it's hurting everybody. I digress. The last point I want to make to you is the greatest inventions. Those 3 I just gave you were powerful. But the greatest inventions have been covered up. Let's talk about one, shall we? And then we're going to go to video 2. Thomas Edison. Great man. I'm not going to disrespect the man. Great man, right? A lot of inventions. And it's been said that he tried XYZ inventions over 1,000 times. Or it was a light bulb over 1,000 and something times. And he kept trying. That last time he got it to work. They didn't tell you the whole story. I'm going to tell you the whole story. He was a great white man. When I say great, I mean in thinking. He was a genius, you know, in thought and the things that he was able to create. But there was a lot of black men that were just as great. One in particular lived up in Boston, Massachusetts, named Lewis Lattimore. Go Google it, guys. Don't jump on my post. My guy was up in Boston doing his thing, with his own creations and inventions. Our guy, Thomas Edison here, had the light bulb developed, but it was missing a component. He couldn't get it to work. It didn't work. It's like me going out and I create this bottle here, right, for water, but I don't have clean water to put in it. How am I going to sell the product? I can't. I'm a salesperson. I'm a businessman. I have 8 companies. I understand how business works. You can develop something, but if you don't have the engine to put it on to sell it or have all the key components to make the product or system or service work, then it's incomplete. It's not complete. I will give Thomas Edison credit. He humbled himself. He said, you know what? I'm going to go talk to that black man. So he humbled himself. That's a lesson that all of us can learn. He went up to Massachusetts. He met Mr. Lewis Lattimore. He said, Lewis, I can't get this thing to work. Lewis amazingly had the filament. There was a filament that he needed to add to the product. Light bulb, filament, light bulb. Together. Black folks, white folks, are you getting this? Together. Everybody's not your friend, but there's a remnant that's going to work with all of us together. We got to do it together. They came together. But your white history books never told you that that this man, Lewis Lattimore, was the biggest reason why the product was able to work. So 2 inventors brought 2 products together. And this light that I'm using right now, and the lights in my house and the lights that you're looking at to look at this video, the light on your phone, was created by two inventors coming together. They don't tell you that, do they? That's what white supremacy does. It leaves out the details. It tells you how they did things to keep them on top. But you're not on top. You're a damn liar. I don't normally cuss, but I had to say that so you get it. You're a liar. I'm talking to the people who lie. Black people didn't do this, and y'all ain't do this, and y'all hung from trees. And did you know, and this is going to be on the second video, did you know, since you talk about us hanging on trees, before we were enslaved and brought over here as the Israelites, we lived in a part of Africa. I'm going to talk about the real name of Africa, too. That's why you got to see part 2. It was called something else that white folks hid and didn't want you to know. But we lived in an area called the Kingdom of Judah. Judah is one of the 12 tribes of Israel. There was a whole kingdom where we left. When we scattered and they ran us out of Israel, we came certain parts of Africa and we built our own kingdom there. A kingdom with a king, all right? With a system in place. Professionals, doctors, lawyers, attorneys, astute people, very educated people, geniuses, inventors, creators, like myself. This is before they took us. And you're running around here saying that we hung on trees. Do your history. Do our history. Go look up the truth. Go look at that African map before they changed and took it off the map. Why did they change the map? What are they hiding? All the nations got together. That's Psalm chapter 83 for all you spiritual people like to read. How all the nations came together and conspired to cut off Israel from being a nation. So they came together and hid. And they said, you know what? The people of the book are in the kingdom of Judah. If you're going to take slaves, go there. Look on the map now. You'll see the slavery coast and all that where they came took slaves. Right above it was where Kingdom of Judah was. If you Google the old map of Africa, Kingdom of Judah, it may come up. I didn't look at it, but it should come up. So when you start saying, y'all ain't do this, and we contribute to more of stuttering here. We contributed to more of civilization than we're giving credit for. After all, in the second title here, this is the second video I'm doing, you're going to find out where civilization actually came from. It came from black people. So-called black people, right? Melanated people. We started the first black man, black woman on the planet. Every group came from them. And they had great cities like, read your Bible, guys. This man Nimrod was a great man in the area. He was a black man. Started building that Tower of Babel. These great civilizations before white folks even came here, because you came from me. My DNA proves our DNA, just so you know, is the superior DNA. I know it's hard to hear, but it's been scientifically proven. Go look it up. That our DNA can create all different the other races you see on the planet. Less melanin and lighter eyes is the regressive gene. That's how we know everybody came through the so-called African continent. And the people came there. The Bible talks about the river Euphrates and all the things that were there, the Garden of Eden, all that y'all took out. That's where we came from. So when people start running around, y'all N-word this, N-word that, and buffoon this, and monkey that, you tell them, listen, everything came through us. In essence, I'm your father, I'm your mother. And I'm being a bit facetious, but you get the point. We were here first. And when it's all said and done, we're always going to be here. All right? When they say, go back to Africa, go back to where you came from. Because, oh yes, there is a second Exodus coming. And you're laughing now. People laugh now. Go back where you came from. Get out of here. They're doing all these things with these deportations because they're leading up to something else. They want to go back to the old America, the racist America, where, white folks control everything and black people going back to slavery. No, that's never going to happen. We're going to leave first. That's how Donald Trump and these guys are going to trick you into this big lie. And you're ultimately going to be destroyed if you don't repent. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's all in that word. But when they start saying, go back to where you came from. Well, this scripture says we leave a great substance after the nation collapses. There's a judgment coming. But when we leave, here's what you turn to them and say, you know what? I'll leave. Give me back the internet. Give me back the cell phone. Give me back the GPS. Give me back the red light system, the traffic light system. Give me back over 100 products that Madam C.J. Walker founded herself for hair that everybody's benefited, not just black people. Give me back the first open heart surgery. Give me back all the things, all the lies that were stolen and taken from us and the inventions. Give all that back, especially those cell phones and that internet. How many of y'all would lose your mind if we took the inventions with us when we left? You don't want to give us credit for it. We need to take it with us when we leave. I'm being facetious in all of this, but you see where I'm going with it. Black people, or melanated people, I should say, hold your head high, stick your chest out, not in pride, but in confidence, to know it's all about you, not about the other groups right now. It's all about these black people, these melanated people. They're waking up. We got to watch them because they know. Some of these theologians, including the Catholics, with their lying behinds, they know what's coming. They changed the book. They took things out. They took out Second Ezra. Ezra. If you guys know about the book of Ezra, it was taken out of the Bible. It talks about the end of the Edomites' reign, the end of Esau, Esau's descendants. A certain group of Esau are the Edomites. That's the European nations. It talks about them going down for good. And it talks about Jacob rising. Who's Jacob? You're looking at a son of Jacob. I'm one of the 12 tribes. I'm Judah. But not just me, the other nations, the other 11 tribes that are scattered. Judah was scattered all over the world. But the other 11 tribes are out there now waiting. But at the end of the world, this is what the scripture says. At the end of the world is Esau. And the world that comes after is Jacob. Esau's descendants are the Edomites, guys. France, Germany. Most of them came to America, the United Kingdom. Have you ever noticed, in closing, have you ever noticed how they went everywhere and took everything from everybody and changed the names and took over the property and called their land like they're doing in South Africa? The Dutch, Edomites. How do you come to a land that wasn't yours? You come take it over and you make laws to say it's your land, and the people that were there first, they can't come and they can't even be in your presence. They can't even walk on your property, on your land. When you stole it, it's not your land to begin with. How did that happen? Because you're Edom and you've been exposed. It's the end of your reign. Hebrews in America, wake the hell up. You gotta wake up. The sad part is everybody's not gonna wake up. You're going to have some of the coonery and the buffoonery. They're going to stay on that side over there. I didn't say Trump's side. I'm saying on the dark side. Whether you Trump or you are, the liberals. If you're asleep and you don't know who you are, you're still on that side. You are Yah's chosen people. Wake the hell up. Because time is running out. I'm telling you. You got to wake up. And you got to do it now. No disrespect to the other groups. If you wake up and you know who we are, band with us instead of lying and being disrespectful. It's only going to get worse for you because now that you went and you voted that person in the office, again, I'm not left or right, you voted that crazy man who has a half a brain, very disrespectful to everybody, misogynistic, racist, etc., just a plain idiot. You put him in there. That lets me know who you are. That lets me know how you think up here, what's going on up here. If you're thinking at all. That man is actually a blessing in disguise for black people. It kept us woke. We have to galvanize now and make moves and do things now. It's time to move because it's going to get worse. If you were offended, I can't help that. I did what I was supposed to do on this video. There's much more to talk about on part 2 and part 3. So this one will be titled Black People in America. That's part 1, okay? Part 2 is going to be Black People globally. Part 3 is going to be Bible prophecy and where do all the nations, including black people, fit in. I hope I had your attention. I hope you got something out of this. I'll see you on the next video. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.